Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is the Urban Woman,
The secret of intimacy.
and I'm going to do a Celtic crossbred reading using the Oceanic Tarot or Oceanic Tarot, and then I'm going to, for each element, pull 3 cards from Healing with the Fairies Oracle deck. Okay, so we'll have a general message, and then we'll have specific specific messages for
growth is the willingness
the elements. Keep in mind on the elements, like you have your rising, your moon, and your ascendant. So if you want extra messages, then check out your other ones.
Love is based not on how we feel.
Also, if you don't know which ones those are, they do have free astrology charts, birth charts online, where you can type in your birthday, your time of birth, and it will tell you your whole natal birth chart. So we have quite a few bits, quite a few planets in retrograde right now, or that are about to go into retrograde. Venus is one. I think Pluto is one. Seems like there's one more, but I can't remember what it is. There is a lot of things going on in Scorpio right now, so that's like very deep, dark, like underworld. I mean, anything, like whatever you can associate with a scorpion. I mean, a scorpion, even, I don't know what like the Native American teaching is of the scorpion, but like for a snake, for example, a snake not only sheds its skin. If you get bitten by a snake, then you have to go through a process called transmutation. Yes, transmutation. And like if you get bitten by a snake, then that's like an initiation. So if you have dreams about snakes, then it's time for a transformation, like shedding of the old. I've had people tell me before, I dreamed about snakes, but I'm not ever scared of them. And so if that's the case, then you're not scared of changing. You're not scared of shedding the old you. If you are scared of the snakes, then you are somewhat scared of letting go of the old parts of yourself. But like with the scorpion, though, I would associate, I mean, the scorpion's black. So black is the absorption of color. That's the absorption of light. So so with black, like you could be like during this time period,
what creates romance?
I mean, I've even had dreams where they were all black, and it's like you are in the depth of your subconscious. So, you know, a few years ago, got to where I came to a point where I was having nightmares. So maybe this was about 4 or 5 years ago. And I know, like, with nightmares, you really have to face your fears, because your nightmare dreams do have underlying messages. And I had started studying the dreams, and my thing was, I started asking myself, like, how, like, if I get into a dream, can I wake myself up if I get to a point where there's something that I don't like? And I don't know how, I mean, look, the Bible says, ask and you shall receive, okay? Like, you don't even have to know. You can just ask, and all of a sudden your butt will know if you believe, okay? And I started asking myself and talking to myself, and you should talk to yourself a lot, okay? You really do have, and yeah, I know, like, long time ago, they throw your butt into an insane asylum, and also, I think, like, electric shock you if you told people that you talk to yourself. Like, that was a form of being crazy, or split personality, or multiple personality disorders. They do that shit to you now to keep you dumb. Okay? You really do have to talk to yourself thoroughly with everything. You are your best cheerleader. And plus, too, the thing that you are talking to within yourself, the answers back, that's your higher self. Where does your higher self get those answers from? Heaven, the angelical realm, your guides, like space. If you're, you feel like your higher power comes from like a different galactic universe or dimension, whatever you believe, your higher self communicates with that. So what gets reflected back to you is a conversation from a higher power outside of yourself. That connection, the connection that the two of you have with the third eye and the pineal gland, there's that room where this conversation takes place. And if you ask, you may not get the answer right then, and it's because you're not exactly ready for the answer right then. But then, like, you'll have a light bulb moment, and you're like, oh, like it was right there the whole time. Like, when you have light bulb moments, that's because you have been asking about it. You weren't ready for it, but as soon as you were ready for it, the moment, like, the answer hits you, and you're like, oh, there it is. Like, I could have thought about that. Well, it's been sitting there for a minute. You just had to walk into receiving it. So, in these moments in time about my dreams, I started asking myself and having this conversation with, if I get to a point in a dream that I don't like, or something scares me or feels off, how can I wake myself up? Well, I had this thing. Okay, so when I sleep, I kind of tuck my chin under, and I sleep in the fetal position. So my hands are also up in my chest, under my chin. So I tuck my face down. And I don't know, like one day I just thought, you know, if I'm laying like that with my chin tucked under, what is something that I can do physically to wake myself up with? And I thought, you know, just start shaking your head. And lo and behold, that's what started happening in my dreams, and it got repetitive. And I got so good that I could just be like, see an alley or a mailbox, a road post, whatever, in a dream, and I'd be like, I ain't thinking to go down that path. Nope, I'm gonna wake myself up. And I'd start shaking my head, and I would instantly wake up. And then it got to a point where I could be like, okay, I want to wake up out of this. And I didn't have to shake my head anymore. I just automatically would wake up. So it's like practice following that. And in the dreams, you know, this is your subconscious. The things that you have buried. The things that are dark. And that is a lot of what Scorpionic is. Like, there is kind of like, I even feel like we're in some type of paradigm shift right now. And it's kind of a lot like the risk and the reward. Like the risk you take can sometimes come with the reward. But you have to ask yourself if that reward is worth the risk. You feel me? That right there, that can change things right there. If you feel like the reward's not worth the risk, then you need to backtrack. So just keep that in mind as you're maneuvering through these energies. Okay, so we're just going to do a general message from the ocean, the depths of our being, and see what we have. Okay, so right now there is a lot of sensitivity about it. Okay, you are feeling yourself, you're lovey. This could actually be you, the water sign. So if you're a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces watching, this is you. And you know, keep in mind, like, you don't have to be an actual water sign. You could have a moon. Your moon sign could be a water sign. Your ascendant sign could be a water sign. So, but if not, this is a woman who is really emotionally available. Like, she is a caretaker. She takes care of herself. She looks after other people. Like, and she, a lot of times, is the one that people go to really talk to, because she's very compassionate. Like, she's calm, and she gives people comfort. Like, people find comfort in telling her their stories. People say to me all the time, because I'm a Pisces, people say, I don't know why I'm telling you this. Like, I know why. It's because I give you a comfortable, safe environment to let your guard down so that you can get off your chest, or so that you can reminisce about something. Because I will sit here and reminisce with you about it. Now, so this lady here, so you're sitting here, whoever this woman is, okay? If this is you or someone else. She's sitting here in her calm, comfort, and secure environment right now. But you know what? She's also looking at the cup. Okay? She's looking, and like, you might not be able to see. I don't really have one of those great cameras. But she's for real looking at that cup. Now, the thing I love about this interpretation is that she's looking at it very calm and peaceful. Like in the Rider-Waite Tarot, she's got like a stern look on her face. You know, this chick, she's very easygoing. Like, oh, what's in my cup here? So, your challenge right now, you're looking at all your options. Like, this is the 7 of Cups. Each cup has an option in it. So, you are... Well, actually, you know what? It came up, and I don't normally take reversals on this deck, but it's... Let me see what this card says. Alright. So, this is going to go one of 3 ways. You're going to have to apply this message to you for yourself, okay? One is that things right now are not, everything is not as it seems, okay? And, you know, it may have you sensitive to that energy. You're sensitive to that energy. You may feel like you don't have a lot of options or a lot of possibilities. You could be sitting here looking at all your options that you thought you had, and you're like, I'm just going to pour that one out because I don't even want that one. Because these cups are upside down. Now, it could also be that with the way things are right now, you're looking at your options. Maybe you're also not able to see all of your options. So there is possibility there. Are you seeing the possibilities? Are you like, are you deciding, you know, here's a cup that's got something in it, but I don't want this cup no more. I don't want to drink from this cup no more. So if you're sitting here looking at all the options in your life, ask yourself, like, if this is your husband, if this is your wife, okay, let's get real a minute. Alright, we're in quarantine, and if you're in a relationship, well, then you are like stuck at home with somebody. So maybe now it's time to say, like, is this relationship worth staying in, or is it not? If that's a yes, check it off, move on to the next. Do we want to stay in this house? Do I want a different house? Am I in the right career? Do I really want to be in this career? Is it maybe time to give my kids more freedom so that I can allow them to go out and be who they need to be, and give myself more freedom to be who I want to be? Do I want a different car? Like, write your options down. Now, let me tell you, if your options have that risk and that reward, like, I mean, if this is, and let's get real again, if this is your partner right here, okay, like, if you walk around on eggshells because you're scared, well, then that can go one of 2 ways, because everything has one of 2 ways. Everything's a two-way street, okay? You can either, that's either and this is why you would need to dig deep within you to answer these questions, okay? The depths of your being. Because if you're walking around on eggshells and you're scared, or there's fear there, well, is that fear like stemming from something within you, or is that fear actually stemming from your husband or your girlfriend or your wife, your partner? Let's say your partner, because it could be boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. So, and see, a lot of people, like, if you can tell yourself everything that goes on within you is a reflection, everything that goes on outside of you is a reflection of something within you. So, if you encounter your partner about a topic or a subject, and it gets uneasy for you, then there's something within you that's unhealed, that's uneasy in that moment, or about that topic or that subject. So you then can get angry instead of being, well, here's the deal. That's where you got to get yourself in check. Like, hey, I'm getting too emotional in this, or I'm too angry. Like, why are you angry? Why are you upset? Because, like, we will project these things onto other people. We will think, okay, I'm walking around eggshells around this person because I don't want to tip them off. But subconsciously, could that just be your own fears that you're projecting onto that person? Is that the reality of the situation? Or is the reality of the situation that the person that you're with is just unhealed, they're stubborn, and they resist the want or the need or desire to find out those truths, why they're hurt, and to heal themselves. And if you're one of those that's wanting to get healed and be free from pain and the suffering and the bullshit of the world, and you just want to live, well, people, they're either going to grow with you or they're going to grow out of your life. And that's where you have to find acceptance within yourself and in other people. Expectations and assumptions will get you in trouble big time, boy. Woo! So it's like, ask yourself, do you want to walk around this person feeling like this? Or can you step outside of yourself for a second and sit down with this person and actually talk about the things that are hurting them? Because good conversation can change. It can create a catalyst in someone's life, just like seeing a stranger on the street, being like, "Hey, how are you doing today?" You know how that one little phrase right there can affect that person tremendously, and even the people in their world. You know, it's like, smile and say hey to folks. You never know who it might benefit from. So look at these options, these things, these possibilities you got going on. But now keep in mind too that all is not as it seems right now. And it is because of like this moon phase that we're in, these planets in retrograde. There is some sadness from the past, but you know, it's not lingering within you. Now, this could be something that you've healed from in the past, and now that you've healed from it, that's what's got you sitting in this Queen of Cups energy. That's what's gotten you where you're seeing the possibilities, or you're starting to look for them. And if you feel that they're not there yet, they will be coming, because now, and keep in mind too, whatever resonates with you is what's for you. If it does not resonate for you, then the message isn't for you. Then just, you know, sweep it aside. Take what resonates with you, okay? For some of you, you may feel like there aren't possibilities there right now. And it could be because of this moon, this like cycle that we're in, that you're not able to see. But it's there. You may just have to like really tune in and do the inner work, like work through the blockages. Because there could be something from this past energy here, this Five of Cups, this reverse Five of Cups, thankfully, this sadness that we're coming out of. It could be the thing that has you looking at your options now.
I will notice and appreciate the good qualities of people around me.
There is some competition going on at the moment around you. And you know what? It could be pettiness. Because I'm going to tell you, boy, that pettiness,
or evaluate how others feel.
That Five of Wands, that is like petty people. Like, that card, there's some conflict, some type of reality, like you're seeing things for what they are. And if you'll just sit back and watch, I'll be honest with you, boy, these people that are petty, that want to throw shade and be competitive, those type of people right here, I mean, pettiness, man. They'll do some stupid, some petty ass shit. I mean, if you don't know what petty is, I'm not going to tell you because I'm not a dictionary. But you might also be like, here's this one friend right here that's petty. I'm so tired of pettiness. Should I get, you might be ready to cut some of this petty shit out. You might not feel like, because look, here's 5 things right here. Each one of these 5 things could be like 5 people, 5 situations in your life, or a multitude of those right there. And you could be sitting here looking at them like, is this person right here that gets on my damn nerves, are they worth it? Because if they're not worth your aggravation and your frustration, now you could say to yourself, okay, let me at least give this one more attempt to like try to change the thing, okay? So it's like either, and you can't change people. You can change yourself, how you interact with people. If you do that, and it does create a catalyst for change, then walk in that change. But if it doesn't, then it might come to a time where you need to think, okay, I don't want to go down this or do this anymore, so it's time for me to let go of this item. But there is some competition around you. And there could be some competition for your cups as well. Okay? Because, I mean, we are in a different time right now. Where it's like, everything's down to everything's been stripped. So now we got to build. And it's going to be, I'm not going to say we're going to be starting from scratch. But there's going to be, we've got to start. We've got to go back to the basics, basically. And, it could be that you've got, there could be people competing for your job. There could be people, because I'm going to tell you something, okay? What you take advantage of and what you don't like and what you walk around and treat like shit, somebody else out there is wanting it. So, I'm going to tell you, like, if you want it, you got to make the change to keep it. Because if not, then you need to quit slinging it around, dragging it around with you, and let someone else have it. Alright, so what we're moving into, we've got the Fool's energy here, and something is going to start fresh. There's going to be a new beginning. And, this right here is going to be taking a risk. Because, I mean, that is what the Fool's journey is. It's like, you don't know where you're going half the time. You don't know what you got. You just know you're going. Okay? That's like that innocence. That wonder. That foolishness. Like, I mean, it's probably like, this is like an energy of like back in the day when you were like 23 and you're like, alright, I'm going to pack my shit up and move like over here across the United States of America on the other side of the continent. I'm going to start over and live. Like, I mean, I probably wouldn't do that now, but I would have back then, and I actually did, but not in California, not to the other side of the United States. But, it's like, it could be that you're throwing fear to the wayside. You're seeing now what has not worked for you in the past, what has brought you sadness, grief, and now you're like, bump this, I want something new, I'm going for it. Okay, now what that new is for you, it's time for you to figure out what that is, if you haven't already. Now, if you haven't figured out what it is yet, that new is, start looking. Okay, start looking. Start daydreaming. Even when you're daydreaming, if something brings you happiness, peace, and joy, maybe even a little bit of fear, or a whole lot of fear, go for it. Because I'm going to tell you something, that right there, that thing where, that new, but there's a little bit of fear, this is it, that new beginning. Diving in, taking off, going for it. Follow those things. Your advice here, we had the 5 of Pentacles, but in reverse. With the 5 of Pentacles, that's the thing that a lot of when this one comes up, it's because of the fact that we have voluntarily taken ourselves out of something. We have decided the reward was not worth the risk. Even if it leaves you out in the cold, you're like, I'd prefer to be out here in the snow with the hair on my chinny chin chin than in that warm church with your stubborn, aggravating ass. That's the Five of Pentacles. Okay, like you for real chose to get yourself out of something. You might be in hell and high water, but you thought at one point in time that hell and high water would be a whole lot more comfortable than that ice cold statue. Now, I like the fact that it came out in reverse, even though I don't use these cards here in reverse, because there are certain card decks like these right here that the authors, they don't give them interpretations in the reverse. So I honor the fact that if they don't want to use them in the reverse, but I don't know, I started and I've already used 2 of them in the reverse, so I'm going to keep it going. Something just told me to do it, so I'm going to follow it. But with it being in reverse, I prefer the Five of Pentacles in reverse, because this means like there's improvement, there's recovery. You have gone through the hell and high water, and you're now starting to come out, like you're recovering from it. So it could be a time where if you feel like you're coming out of this hell and high water, and you feel like, if you ever get to a point in time in your life where something just like things just don't feel like they're moving for you, like you haven't made any breakthroughs, things seem stagnant, this is the time when you gotta focus on service. Do something for someone else, because I don't know what it is about that, but it's gotta be the energy, the chakra, something where when you can focus on helping someone else do something, it's like, well, you know what it is? You shift. It's like what Abraham Hicks says. Like if your car, like all your bills are behind and you're about to lose your car and stuff like that, she says, like, how can you get outside? How can you get around that? How can you bounce back? Well, the thing is like you've put all your energy and your time and your focus on the loss. There's not the money there. You're losing it each time. It's gaining momentum. So how do you bounce back from that? Find the things in your life that are working. Now, if there's nothing in your life that's working, then that's when you focus on that service. Because when you put all of your time and attention in service and helping someone else, everything in your life has to, like on a physical, quantum physics level, has to rise up and meet that same environment. So it's like if you're about to lose your car, well, don't focus on it no more. Focus on something that has abundance, that gives you happiness. Because before you know it, that right there is going to change itself to give you happiness. And you know, you never know how that's going to work, because like the car company people could all of a sudden call you and be like, hey, we're having this thing going on, and if you can't make a payment, we're going to put one of your payments on the very end and not like a refinance, but like we're going to put these 2 payments on the end of your car loan, and you ain't got to worry about it right now. So you'll start your payments back up in August, okay? Like something like that can pop up. So it's like if you can focus on or change your focus, that shift, that will help you tremendously. And that's what your advice here to do is to focus on the shift. Put all your time and energy, invest in the shift, the new stuff. In your environment, there is a lot of hope. You know, you could have a lot of hope in your environment. Like, especially if you've taken the time to figure out what these possibilities are. Okay? You could have changed some shit up. And it's like, you know, when you go from one way of being to another way of being, there is a tower moment. There is a destruction. There is a falling down. Because all that has to come down so that you can find out and discover what the new stuff is, and then start building upon that stuff. And that's where this comes in. Like, there is there's a lot of new hope around you, especially over here with this Fool card. And you also have, well, okay, so this one here, I think there is some fear around you being able to get this done or not. Okay, especially if, like, look, man, like, these new hopes, these hopes and this new beginning that you're thinking of, I mean, it could cause you to have a lot of, like, fears about not knowing if you can do something. Like, you could be embarking out on something totally new, something you ain't never done before. You might even be like 55 and like, man, I ain't never done no shit like this. But you know what? That's a fear. Because I'm going to tell you, like, you've got the universe here. Like, when it comes to, like, the universe and you moving forward in these new things, that's where all the good cards are. I'm telling you, even though it might be scareful, it might be fearful, you might have anxiety about some shit, like that, I think, is where you're going to find the most fulfillment, is those things. Yes. And you know, this is like, so we end here with the Page of Cups. Like, imagination, that's what it says on the card. But it's like, you know, it goes back to more than just imagination. This is like, okay, so if you had, let's say, with this Five of Cups energy here in the past over here, okay, if you had a falling out with somebody, well, this Page of Cups could be an apology coming in. This is like a happy surprise, like, and this is also being sensitive up into this Queen of Cups energy. So this is definitely like, whatever. You know how, okay, so you know how, like, you can go to the beach, and it's like, you can go to the beach, get in the water, like, the ocean just, like, takes your troubles, your sorrows, and all that shit away, okay? It does. Boy, the ocean is a powerful thing. It will cleanse your butt right on up, okay? This is like you going to the beach and coming out feeling renewed, like, young again, like you got your vitality back. Like, you're happy, everything's going good. It's like you feel like a teenager again. You know, this is this energy. And that energy right there, I think, is going to surprise you. So, let's see. Let's start with the water signs. There's a lot of water energy here. So, let's see what the messages are for the water signs. Be honest with yourself. Problem resolved. Breaking free. So it's definitely time to be honest with yourself about the things that you want. I feel like, you know, this Five of Cups energy that we had, that sadness that we have, whatever it was, it's going to be solved. It's going to also help you to break free from whatever abandonment or whatever situation you had when you had to take the high road, even though the high road was not all that pretty, but it was better than being in the cold room with the cold statue. Like, that's what this is. Like, you're going to be broken free from that feeling. Like, you'll feel like, okay, you've finally gotten out of the, I mean, you put yourself outside. You did this yourself because you wanted to, okay? But it's like, you know, it's a process. Like, you're outside, you inhaling high water, but it's like, okay, now you can come out of the hell or high water. That's what this is saying. Like, the problem's going to be resolved, and you'll be free of it. But, you know, it could be that it definitely asks for you being honest with yourself. Alright, so let's see about the fire signs. Rise above problems. That's a phenomenal card. It is time for you to rise up about problems. You know what? And it might be that you need to go on a vacation, or you're thinking about going on a vacation. If that's the case, go on a vacation, because it will help cleanse your energy. And it will also help you to rise above. Now with creative expression, if you're not actually able to financially or physically go on a vacation just yet, get on Pinterest and look at places where you want to go. Because that way you can at least get in it in a visual and dance around, play around in there for a minute, okay? Now that is somewhat a form of escapism. Because I'm Pisces, I'm a water sign, we do that a lot. But you can use it as a creative expression, especially to like open up blockages within yourself or to get yourself out of a funk. Okay, so now let's do air signs. Alright, so air signs. It's time for you to detox. Detoxification. You got vacation as well. And then the same creative expression. So, if you have air signs been going through, you may need, well, see, like if you were to go to the beach and you get in the water, like the ocean, that's that detoxing, okay? But you might need to take it to a whole nother level. You might need to get on Pinterest and look up like detoxification, like waters, foods. You might be trying to do a whole new cleanse. And I think that you need to, because it could definitely open up your chakras, get them more balanced. And you know, like she's even taken a shower. So it's like, you know, what focus can you, or new regimen can you put into or change in your shower routine? Okay, because you can take like a very cleansing, detoxing shower if you know how to do it. So it could be that you need to look that up. Okay, now let's look at the earth signs. Alright, so the magic of nature. You need to get outside because, like, outside is where you really thrive. So, what can you do outside? Can you plant a garden? Can you get outside and, yeah, like plant a garden, mow your grass, clean up, do something else, have a cookout or something outside, because, and especially if like it rains or there's a thunderstorm, really get outside, because that is where some healing energy is going to come from. Oh, and we've got making new friends. So, you know, that what's the perfect way to have a cookout than to make new friends? So there is a new form of friendships coming in, like a new circle of people. And then you've got make music. So, so really, I mean, have a cookout and play some music or something, because that event is really going to help, I think, some form, some way, shape, or how. It's going to help heal you. So, I would say be open to new friendships. If they offer to go to like a cookout or to have a bonfire, go for it. You may even find that since it's quarantine, that you're like, you want to play an instrument. And if that's so, follow that, because that's also going to help bring about healing within you as well. These new friends are going to introduce you to something that's going to bring about some healing. Be open to the options. Okay? Alright, so thank you all. Stay tuned. Hopefully soon we'll have another reading coming. Feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. You can find me here. You can find me on Facebook and YouTube. So whichever one works for you. If you want a reading, I have my packages and my prices listed on my Facebook page. Everything is the Urban Woman Tarot. Feel free to message, whichever. PayPal information is Folk, F-U-L-K. That's my last name, Folk. F-U-L-K, Angela2@gmail. So, you can send your PayPal information, PayPal money over. You can get same day reading, whatever. I can do specific and or design one around you. I have one friend who's like, I got this going on, and will you put me something together? And I put her something together. So let me know what you want. If not, I'll see you again here next time. Thanks for watching. Take care. Namaste.